Hi, I'm Yaseen Essop. I work for RBS Insurance Brokers and I am a commercial underwriter.
Hello, my name is Zimba. I work for Centriq Insurance. I'm an actuary manager there.
Hi, my name is Siphamandla Dube and I'm currently a business analyst from Hollard Insure.
Hi, I'm Nabeelah Maharaj and I work for Santam Insurance.
Hi, my name is Amogelang Kgaladi. I'm an actuary by profession.
My name is Vicky Sebothoma and I work at Aon Re Africa and I'm a broker assistant.
I'm JP Ellis. I'm the Senior Legal and Claims Manager at Ethical, which is the division of Constantia Insurance.
Hi, my name is Kanchaal. I am employed at Power Brokers and Financial Services as a key individual.
Hi, my name is Sebastian, Personal Line Service Consultant for Mutual Insure.
Last week, the contestants nailed their task, so much so that the judges decided not to send anyone home. However, this week, things will be very, very different. Today, Simon Coleman, head judge of the Insurance Apprentice, joins the panel. So now, the contestants have to seriously up their game. Over the next 7 episodes, 9 of the industry's top contestants will be battling it out to be crowned the ultimate winner. This is the Insurance Apprentice.
You will be with us for the rest of the week, you're safe.
Oh, last week was a roller coaster.
Last week was pretty tough for me. It was a challenge that required me to come a bit out of my element.
Walking in and as Wonder Woman and people not reacting, I think that was very intimidating.
Firstly, I think Siphamandla has grown.
Last week was tough, but the judges gave us some constructive criticism.
Vicky, lovely singing voice. How far will that get you? I need you to articulate better.
I didn't really enjoy myself and I think I let the nerves get the better of me.
It was also our first test of being in the front for elimination.
But it was a good task. I really enjoyed it. I won't lie, I had fun.
What were we thinking when we signed up for this? Oh, I loved it.
This week I want to take my time and articulate myself better when presenting, especially to the judges.
The build-up to the elimination and the judges and the feedback, wow. Standing in front of them, my heart was pounding.
I've taken the judges' feedback and I'm ready to apply it into week 2.
But yeah, I feel good. For last week, for this week, I don't know.
So arriving at Old Mutual today is exciting. I'm just coming into this amazing building and just feeling fresh and ready for the next task at hand.
Guys, it's a new day. I feel really relieved that no one went home last week.
What do you guys think? Simon's back.
Well, I think we can expect his usual self.
Dread.
Exactly.
I generally try and remain very calm, but that fell out of the way last week when I was up for elimination, because then suddenly I started becoming a bit sweaty at the palms. So we'll see what Simon has to bring, but I try and keep a very calm approach, and I think that generally tends to work well.
I think this year is going to be interesting because it seems like we've got 2 judge dreads.
I think everyone wants to be dread.
Exactly.
This time we know that definitely someone's going home. So there's definitely people are on edge. Everyone's a bit nervous.
I think today's going to be guns blazing, which basically means that there's going to be a big fire in that boardroom.
Sure. I think clothes will be out as well.
I'm a bit nervous because we do have an elimination today.
I anticipate the task to be challenging. Aon always poses very difficult tasks. You always have to think out of the box on the spot. I know it's not going to be a walk in the park for sure.
I'm Simon Coleman and I'm the head judge on the Insurance Apprentice, which is really our search for the ultimate insurance ambassador. So I got the nickname Judge Dread a couple of years ago on the show, and that was largely because when it comes to firing people, I don't really take any prisoners. We really want to get the best of the best. So if somebody's not pulling their weight, I'm afraid they have to go. And it often falls to Judge Dredd to make that happen.
My name is Nadia Starr. I'm the CEO of the In-Seater, and I am a judge on the Insurance Apprentice. The competition this year is going to be incredibly challenging. It's going to test, I think, all their technical skills as well as their interpersonal skills. And we will be pushing the contestants outside of their frames of reference.
Look, this season's going to be very different, and we try and step it up a little each season. Although I'd like to think that this year we've made a quantum leap. And we're going to be putting the apprentices not just through grueling tasks in the boardroom, but they're going to be involved in quite a few activities outside where they're really going to have to stretch themselves, not just mentally, but physically too. That's not something we've done before. So I think we're really going to see some interesting results out of this year's Apprentice.
Welcome all of you to the 6th season of the Insurance Apprentice. I noted that you had a fairly relaxing time in the first task. It looked like you enjoyed yourselves. Well, that all ends today. Today we're starting with the eliminations, and at least one person will be going home. Today Nadia and I are joined by our guest judge, and I'll be handing over to him to tell you about the task.
I'm Terence Williams. I'm here representing Aon South Africa as the CEO of the Sub-Saharan region. So today's task, hugely exciting for us as a group, hugely exciting I think for the contestants, primarily because it's the first time ever that we've tried to build a task which is focused on a debate as opposed to very much a presentation type format. Welcome ladies and gents. Season 6. You've had 5 other seasons to prepare for this, to learn, to understand, to appreciate what other teams went through. To say that I'm looking forward to this one is an understatement. It is going to take the format of a debate. It is going to be on something that is very close to my heart, certainly, and close to Aon's heart, how we think about the evolving landscape of talent in the insurance industry. So good luck.
So you'll be split into teams today. We'll have a few hours to prepare. I'm going to be splitting the teams as follows. So in team 1, we've got JP, Siphamandla, Kanchaal, Amogelang, Memory. And in team 2, the team of 4, Vicky, Nabeelah, Sebastian, and Yaseen. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give team 2 the opportunity to choose whether they will be for or against the topic of the day. You're for. So you will be making the argument for the subject matter, which today, I'll give you a little bit of detail, is whether or not the increasing of the retirement age is good for the sustainability of the insurance industry. You're dismissed.
I'm quietly confident about the task that we've given. It's something that sits very closely with me. I believe that as an industry we need to create the new pool of talent, and coming from an actuarial background as well, we have a similar struggle where we don't necessarily get enough young people into the talent pool.
So the debating format is quite interesting because of the timeline that's given to each person to speak. I think it will be a lot of pressure while we're there, but hopefully we can just meet the deadlines for those time limits.
We walk out of the boardroom hearing the task is, and we sit down, we deliberate, and we know what we have to do. Older people are not transferring the skills to younger people because younger people are not being incentivized to learn.
If you don't understand risk itself, you don't understand how to underwrite risk, you don't understand how to deal with customers, what is that all for?
At the moment, we're working quite well. I think it's a fine balance of expertise across the whole group.
I think one of the things that I'm coming to realize is that the more people you have in the team, the more difficult it is.
There's a lot happening in my head. We're currently trying to strategize how we're going to run the task. We're trying to strategize who's going to speak what. I thought because the old generation is so connected to their clients, or they know their clients, they're also willing to work the extra time.
I think the preparation is going quite well. We have some good points down. We set out a plan, so we're basically all going to prepare individually and then come together with the points and debate it. Because people are living longer, it was a bit of a mixed one for me. The industry is therefore not evolving as much.
So I think everyone, to a certain element, is feeling overwhelmed, considering the time allocation given to us. However, we're making the best of the situation.
So I have never done a debate before. It's the first time that I'm involved in an interactive debate.
So when you're debating, it's not just, you have to bring the fierceness. Yes. And if they hit you, poker face. I think me and Vicky we have strong personalities.
What I've been trying to do is that I'm trying to narrow down and get it to be a bit more specific about the points that she's trying to bring across. So what we're going to do is structure what you're going to say and how you're going to say it, and we're going to bold. And we're going to have a list of references.
So every time you just hit them, if they don't substantiate where do they get their sources from, you question that all the time. Everything needs to be questioned.
I think it's going quite well. I think we got off to a bit of a rocky start with people trying to speak over each other, but we've now found a rhythm.
So we need to adapt to ensure that we still are able to drive that productivity to make us compete successfully.
I think now towards sort of after about an hour of conversation, now we're starting to flow, the conversation is going, we're thinking a bit more about it.
JP on this task has taken a bit of the leadership role. Given his background from an attorney perspective, he's able to lead debates quite well.
We're sitting with a huge unemployment issue. We want to get more Black South Africans into insurance.
I think Amogelang and Kanchaal are a little bit quieter, but I think Amogelang has strength in terms of the numbers, being an actuary. Kanchaal making the start means that she's not having to respond to anything. She's just saying these are the facts, and she's great at research.
If you're a client-facing business, so people want to deal with the person as long as possible instead of going to a new person.
I love the energy that's in this room. I love it. I love what's being said. I love that people are actually bringing that energy to say, it shows that we want to win.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today's task is proudly sponsored by Aon. For the first time in the history of this competition, week 2 task will take a form of a debate. The two teams have been given the topic, and the topic is increasing the age in the insurance industry is good for the sustainability of the industry. Kanchaal's team, you are against the idea, so you will start. Good luck, and make sure it counts. Your time starts now.
Good day, everybody. Please join us on a journey through the insurance of the future. Let's imagine a perfect world revolutionized by artificial intelligence, a world where the unemployment rate is not at 29%, where the unemployed youth, instead of fighting to find a job, are working hard to increase the GDP rate of South Africa. With a higher GDP rate, it allows for the older population to retire comfortably. In this way, our country can provide more as our GDP rate is at an all-time high. Our youth are given an opportunity, allowing us to innovate and revolutionize the insurance industry and grasp the potential to achieve greatness. The aging workforce does not speak to the future growth and development of the industry, and therefore the retirement age should not be increased.
Increasing the retirement age is good for the sustainability of the insurance industry. We would like to point out the following supporting our argument. The current crisis of skill shortages in South Africa gives us a clear understanding of the volatility of the markets. What we require at this stage is all the experience we can gather. As per Aon's Global Risk Management Survey 2019, an aging workforce is becoming a growing concern across industries and geographies.
In order to deal with the issue of skills shortage in the insurance industry, we believe rather than maintaining the aging workforce in our industry, we are saying it's sensible in order to focus on succession planning, focus on practical mentoring sessions where you have the aging workforce just before they retire to start transferring skills to young people so that young people can be the future.
Siphamandla, your time is up. Thank you.
Siphamandla, you're talking about mentoring and coaching. So what you in essence is saying is that we need to keep the older generation to coach and to mentor. So are you saying that we should keep them to mentor the young, or should we let them go and do it for free? What are you saying?
We need them to go on retirement and then have them as consultants to transfer those skills to young people.
So I went against Nabeelah, and the funny part is that she came very aggressive in terms of arguing against my argument, and I think her points just fall flat.
Judges, you're all very senior in your organizations, responsible for the strategic alignment of your company. We have technological trends such as blockchain, insurtech, AI, big data. You need human capital that is congruent with your strategy. By increasing the retirement age, you run the risk of creating an environment that is less flexible, less responsive, and less adaptable. You will get left behind.
An aging workforce isn't a burden, it is an opportunity. Should South Africa pass the bill that students are allowed to leave school after grade 9, there will be an increased shortage of skills. According to the study by AARP and Aon Hewitt, the plus 50 segment of workforce continues to be the most skilled and engaged age. According to weforum.org, older workers can bring institutional knowledge and perspective, social maturity and stability.
I feel as though we were the team that delivered facts, but then again, it is a competition and we don't know the criteria as to what the judges are actually using, and that is what is a concern.
If we do not engage at the level that the new population is coming up, we run the risk of being obsolete as an industry. What is your take on that? The fact that you're busy saying that the older people have those skills. What about innovation and catering for the people of tomorrow, not the people of the past?
Let's think different, let's think big. Encouraging skills transfers. Employees need to develop ways to experience employees to transfer their knowledge. After a new employee assimilates the basic facts about their job, what's next? Job? Coaching? Who must do this coaching? Textbooks? Are we sure? Are we trying to force feed the next generation in providing them with theory? How are they going to cope? No, we must give them experience, hand-on experience into the industry and training. I have never been in a debate before, and this was my first time. I love the structure, but I must say, wow, people can be vocal.
I get surprised by this team motivating for the increase of the retirement age for the mere fact of coaching and mentoring. Are we creating an environment where people are able to transfer knowledge, or are we creating an environment where we gatekeep the skills?
With having the right technology, with having the right underwriting skills, we need the generation that has passed.
From Forbes to Harvard, diversity leads to better profitability. Companies in the top 25% with respect to gender diversity, for example, were 15% more likely to experience above average profits.
We can't think about the workplace without thinking about the marketplace. In the US, for example, 106 million people over age of 50 leverage economies that accounts for $76 trillion in the economy.
We are not in the US, we're actually in South Africa, with 9.5% of the population being aged between 55 and 74. Disruption that comes from the youth becomes disruptive to our industry as opposed to constructive.
Just a question. Do you understand, team, that the longer we keep the old generation, the more we're going to be paying for their salaries?
At what cost, Siphamandla? You are saying when you started the argument, you said we should keep on the over 55s as a coaching and mentoring, so they must retire, but then not retire. It does not add up. I definitely feel like I did well. I tried to think very fast. I tried to really come with, the comebacks. So the opposing team, there was definitely some cracks. I think that we managed to get them to crack, but which was quite nice. We could see the uncertainty.
Older workers can bring institutional knowledge and perspective, but they also add social maturity and stability and can pass on critical knowledge to the young workers. We find that it's a must to increase the retirement age for the sustainability of the insurance industry. Thank you.
The whole argument is characterized by two things: skill shortage and a criticism of the youth. Cherry-pick quotes, stats from USA, we're talking about South Africa. Another undeniable truth that our colleagues cannot deal with is that insurance today is not insurance of yesterday. We heard about blockchain, machine learning, social media risks. We heard about cyber cover. These are probably the most important risks that we have to consider in the future.
If we cut out salaries of high-earning older generation, what do you think the impact of that is on revenue collection for the country? Tax.
29% unemployment rate. 63.4% of that between the ages of 15 to 34 years old. Imagine if you increase the employment rate in that level. How much revenue generation are you increasing? That increases the tax effect of the government. You reduce the fiscal burden on the state by having those people employed, because by having that large element of society unemployed, you reduce productivity. You have a situation where GDP growth is low because you don't have economic growth and economic expenditure. So by being able to essentially increase the employment rate in that sector, you have a ripple effect of driving expenditure, of driving economic growth, of increasing the revenue collection of the government and reducing the fiscal burden on the state.
To speak to myself individually, I think I carried the team relatively well as well. When they asked questions around tax and economy, that's literally my bread and butter, and I think that was the slam dunk we needed to bring this task home.
You spoke about increasing the retirement age. Why can we not do the things that you have spoken about doing, the training, the mentorship, before those people retire at the age of 63 or 65?
We have an aging workforce of people that are exiting the business, taking the skills with them. We have a large number of people joining the industry who want recognition, who want employment, but they do not have the skills and resources to cater for the catastrophes of today, to understand the trending, the analysis, and what the product offers. I don't think any of my team members did mess up. I think what we planned to do, we did. And the division of resources and the division of questions and answers were done quite well.
The debate went well. I am proud of my team. We delivered. So I don't know what is in store for us right now, but I am proud.
I obviously have to give everybody an opportunity, to answer. There were times that I felt like I wanted to answer, but I had to just, hold back. But I definitely think that I tried to put my best foot forward, and I think that's the most important thing.
So it was the first time that we got to be in front of Simon today, and then also another judge. It was nice to finally be present instead of watching it on the screen. So it was more of an excitement kind of feeling to actually be there.
It was definitely a team effort at the end of the day, and we are hoping that we win the task, of course, so that no one goes home. Well, we assume no one will go home if you win the task.
In conclusion, one of the contestants will be going home today.
So, a clear winning team for you guys?
Regrettably, no.
Yeah, I thought it was a yawn from the beginning to the end. I think for me, what I really didn't enjoy, the reading. People at this level in our industry should be able to articulate themselves and do a presentation without reading a bunch of notes.
How I'm feeling right now is that you can never feel like you secure.
I thought this one didn't show up at all today. Just not even in the picture. One or two sort of shining stars, but they were kind of fleeting.
We're at the final stage where you are fighting to be number one. You're fighting to win each and every challenge. So you take the opportunity per day and by day and not lose it.
I agree. Some shining examples where we did see
Who would your shining example be, Terence?
I think JP, absolutely. I suppose the only niggly bit was he didn't make it in the time frame.
He's used to working on billable hours, so he would have carried on all evening.
There we go. Now that explains.
I think I have a lot to offer which hasn't been explored as yet. I feel honestly that I've been placed at a disadvantage in both tasks now because I'm always ending up in the group with a larger number, which always aids to you contributing a lot less than you should be.
Amo for me took it though, and I think more so in his response to the question from the audience.
I believe without a doubt I've done enough to make it to week 3. I think, as I've mentioned previously, I think I carried the team quite well.
I thought she was really strong, but just kind of faded out during the talks. We've got a pretty good idea of our people that are kind of sitting in the bottom.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get them back in here. Welcome back. I just want to thank Aon for once again sponsoring this task, and I'm going to hand straight over to Terence to give you his feedback.
And to say that this topic is critically important for our industry, I think is absolutely an understatement. You were provided with a breadth of reading material prior to coming here. You were given research reports, you were given access to internet facilities, you were given access to colleagues to talk to. You had every opportunity to get this right. You took what is a critical subject and just rehashed everything we already know. It became very much a slinging match without substance. And that for me, I think, was disappointing. Now, and I think Simon will reflect on this, the content was one aspect, the delivery was the other. And I go back to, yes, I accept it's a different format. What I don't accept is that you can't get up for 30 seconds without a notepad and some paper. It's 30 seconds. It's make a point, get off the stage.
It was disappointing. There were moments of, I don't even want to use the word brilliance, but there were moments when some of you were better than others, and it was a pretty low bar. But I will commend you. I thought Amogelang and JP, you guys, you did particularly well. There was no reading. I don't know how many of you actually are client-facing, but if you walked into a client's office and you read from a notepad, if you were planning on selling something, it's definitely not going to happen. And in fact, you're more likely to have the meeting ended within 5 or 10 minutes, rather than you actually getting to your point. For me, thoroughly disappointing, aside from those one or two that I've mentioned. So there's actually no clear winning team today. Nobody's actually sitting up there because you didn't win an argument, you didn't present an argument and win it. So there's no winning team. Now, that doesn't mean that nobody's going home today, because we can't carry on like this. We have to start culling the herd, so to speak. And this was not an easy thing for us to do either. There were some standouts, and there were some that I think really fell by the wayside. So what I'd like to do now is I'd like the following people to step forward. Sebastian, Kanchaal, Memory, and Yaseen. I'll bet the four of you weren't expecting to be sitting in the bottom four so early in the competition, if at all. For some of you, maybe you've never been in the bottom four of anything that you've ever done in your careers or your studies. Now, we couldn't make a call because the scores were so close at the bottom. It's something we don't normally do. We've got a couple of questions I think we'd just like to ask you, and then we'll make our decision.
Sebastian, I found that your delivery was very much scripted, and I felt a lot of your arguments seemed to me even incoherent because, like my colleagues are saying, you weren't responding to what was being argued on the other side. For me, the question really is, why should you remain?
So I apologize for the delivery and the manner which is delivered. In response to why I should stay, I'm here to learn, I'm here to invest, I'm here to take back and to instill in others. I know that I'm here to make a difference, to bring change, and just to create a name for myself.
When you were answering the audience question, you had like a condescending kind of attitude when you delivered that, which I think is a big mistake. That's not what we want in an ambassador. I'm going to move on to you, Memory. Did you expect to be where you are right now?
I did. I think the fact that I come across as overconfidence. So in the response that I gave when my colleague gave a chance to sort of poke holes in my response, I responded out of fright and fear. So I did feel that the way I came across was a little bit aggressive.
Kanchaal, you just didn't look like you kind of showed up today. And I think that, you know, to open for the team, it's important to make an impact. I think you lost the audience. What was going on for you?
Look, Simon, I think I have a lot to offer to this industry. I have a lot to offer to this competition. I don't think that I gave off my best performance today, but I think that in my personal career path, I am pretty good at it. I've won many accolades. Like you said, sitting here, I am client-facing and my clients always connect with me. And I think I could have done a lot more, but I think given the circumstances, I didn't.
Yaseen, in your closing arguments, you would expect that you would incorporate, as your opposite did, the arguments that were made by the other team. You'd prepared something before the debate even took place, and that's what you stuck to. You missed it. You missed the mark completely. I mean, what do you say to that?
I'm disappointed because based on the comments and me not seizing the opportunity to even use of the competitors' rebuttals in my closing and just using what was prepared, that's honestly disappointing for myself.
You guys didn't seize the opportunities that were in front of you. There were questions that came from the audience where you could really have responded and responded to them and shown your intellect and shown your experience. My parting shot is I'm happy to see any one of you go.
We're just going to have a little chat here, so you'll just excuse us for a sec. So, I think, yeah, given scoring. All right, so as we get to the end of task 2, someone is going to be leaving today. The first person to be leaving the Insurance Apprentice 2020 is Kanchaal. You're dismissed.
Thank you for this opportunity. I'm disappointed that we're going home, but in my profession, and where I am at the moment, I've achieved everything that I need to achieve professionally. I've put in a lot of work, and I think that I've learned a lot more about myself and my capabilities.
The second person to leave the Insurance Apprentice 2020 will be going home on another day. It was so close though. I hope you've all learned something from this. The 3 of you that were in the bottom today, I really, really hope that you guys take something out of this. It's happening early in the competition. You can still pull your stuff together. Please, the next person that reads their stuff in this competition, I don't even think we'll wait until the deliberation. We'll just end it while you're doing your presentation. I can't handle it. It's terrible. I'll see you in task 3. You can leave. So she was the wild card. I don't know if you know that. So she was the self-promoted one.
So off to task 3.